Never take your eyes off of someone who asks you for anything. What is a fact that could possibly save your life? If you've gone 2.5 or more days without water, and you have to choose between drinking water without any way to sanitize it or not drinking water, drink the water. If you don't, you'll definitely die soon. Most of the diseases you can get from bad water take a couple of days to set in, which gives you more time to find help. If you encounter a mountain lion, do not turn your back on it. Walk backward. Cats are ambush predators. They don't want to fight you head on and will wait for you to turn around to attack. There are videos showing this behavior with tigers at the zoo. People will sit in front of the enclosure, and as soon as they turn their back to the cat, the tiger goes into stalk mode. They turn around to face the tiger, and the tiger goes out of stalk mode. Lock your doors at night. If you've been stabbed and the weapon is left in your body, do not remove it. Close your bedroom door at night. The amount of damage done to a room with a closed door by a fire is significantly less than one with an open door. You may have a chance to escape. Actual fires spread shockingly fast. We all like to play what's the one thing you'd grab if your house was on fire? But the real right answer is that if it's not alive, you should leave it and get the hell out. People tend to imagine a fire burning on the floor in a corner somewhere, but the reality is often that it's running across the ceiling and circling around the walls. Just get out. If a friend of yours has fallen through ice into a frozen body of water and you would like to save them, lie down on the ice and crawl out to them, do not walk out to them standing up. This maximizes your surface area and lessens the likelihood that you will fall through the ice as well, getting you both fucked. If you're at a bar or club and some asshole antagonizes you, don't let your ego get involved. Seen so many people get hurt when they could just walk away. Funny thing is, most people think fighting back will defend their pride, but to me and a lot of other people, you just look insecure. Be the cool guy who just laughs it off. Yours sincerely, former bartender. You can do the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. Seriously, think about how often you eat or snack when you're by yourself, even if someone is in another room. If you're choking, you cannot talk or scream. If you wouldn't dare to put your dick in there, don't put your finger in there either. This is useful, especially with big machines and other things with holes. You can prevent some serious injuries like this. Mixing bleach with ammonia, both of which are common household cleaning products, can release deadly chlorine gas. Basically, don't mix household cleaners unless you are 100% sure of what you are doing. If someone is trying to abduct you and fighting back or yelling for help doesn't work, then pretend to faint, or vomit on them. If those tactics don't work, then take the chance of getting stabbed or shot to escape. Once you get in the vehicle with an abductor, your odds of surviving are less than if injured in public. Assume other drivers are out to kill you. Healthy paranoia when paying attention to other drivers is a great basis for successful defensive driving. If you ever come into contact with a gorilla, especially a male, stay low and quiet, and no sudden moves. Don't look them in the eyes either. They make loud noises and movement as a challenge, and they'll crush you like a soda can. I learned this one about bear encounters back in middle school, although I'm not sure how accurate it is. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night. If someone is holding you at gunpoint, make eye contact. Say you don't have to do this. Humanize this person, as they will have feelings and be vulnerable to use that to your advantage. Eye contact will form a connection. They will be less likely to kill you. If you happen to someday find yourself on a sinking boat, and it goes underwater and you're somehow able to get free, beware. Once the air neutralizes, if you're far down enough, water pressure will kill you, and collapse your lungs. To avoid this, scream all the way to the top. No joke. While you swim up, scream. It'll keep the pressure from killing you. Don't be too proud to ask for help. Life has this odd habit of throwing us curveballs every now and then. It can be difficult to overcome it on your own. So don't be alone. Open up. Confide in people you trust. Seek professional help. And be patient. It takes time. Just don't keep it all in you and fight it alone. That's a recipe for real damage to your mental health and happiness. In an emergency situation, if you need help for yourself or someone else, don't just yell help or call 911. Use specifics. Instead, say something like "You in the blue shirt, help." Unless called out personally, people have a tendency to walk on by, assuming someone else will help. Using a personal detail gets them involved. If you have a cut that gets infected and sees a streak of red going up from it, go to the doctor immediately. It is a sign of a serious infection that can lead to sepsis. If you ever find yourself caught in a riptide, swim parallel to the shoreline until you get out of the riptide. Swimming directly back to the shore while caught in one won't get you anywhere, and it'll only exhaust you, making it extremely dangerous to do so. Chips can be used as a fire starter. I imagine pretty much any snack food that is starch-based would work. Personally, I find Doritos to work quite well. So next time you're lost in the woods, stop at the next vending machine you see and it might just save your life. If your hair on your arm or on your head is standing up on one end during a thunderstorm, lightning is about to strike you. If there is not a building or a car nearby, crouch down immediately. This forces lightning to find the next shortest distance possible it can strike, since lightning strikes the tallest thing in its area. If your car is submerged in water, you won't be able to open to the door against the weight of the water on the outside pushing it closed. If the car is completely filled with water though, the pressure on either side is equal and the door can be opened. That's the worst case scenario, though, and that should be the last thing you try. The first thing to try to do is roll up, or smash, the windows and jump out. You have less than a minute to do this. Do not waste any precious time calling 911 until you get the hell out of that car. In a crisis situation, people run for the door they came in from. When the shooter walks into the restaurant, run for the kitchen. There's always an exit through the kitchen, and very few people will think to run there. Plus, if you're not armed, a kitchen is full of killer cutlery to defend yourself with. The carotid artery. When you see someone whose neck was /cut and is bleeding out profusely, reach for his carotid artery and then pinch it so he'd stop bleeding out. My uncle was saved because of this. Some drunk ass cunt slashed his neck with a broken bottle. His friend reached for his carotid artery so he stopped bleeding out until they reached the ER. If you're being chased by a brown bear, lay down. Brown bears usually attack in defense, so lay down so you don't look like a threat. If you're being chased by a black bear, fight back. Don't try to climb a tree, they can climb too. If you're being chased by a polar bear, you're kinda screwed, because polar bears give zero fucks. They'll kill you if you lay down, and you won't be able to successfully fight back. Your best bet is to strip, throw your clothes in different directions, then pray and run as fast as you can, because they have a tendency to stop and sniff things. You don't have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person as most people think. This may not save your life directly as other things in this thread, but if more people realize that you didn't have to wait, it could save many lives, because the faster a missing person report is filed, the better chance they will be found. If you're about to be attacked by a rapist, don't yell help, yell fire or fight. Instead, sad to say, people respond and run to you quicker if you yell fire or fight. If you yell fight, they might come with camera phones already on. In a kidnapping situation where the person is trying to get you to force you to go somewhere secluded or into a vehicle, even if they have a weapon, always fight to not go with them and run. If they're trying to get somewhere private, they are planning to do something very bad to you that requires privacy. It's better to be stabbed or shot in a public place where people can hear you rather than in a secluded place. Usually making a lot of noise and screaming will scare most offenders off. If you have the telltale signs of a heart attack and live alone, aren't around anybody, cough vigorously. It will help keep you conscious, hopefully long enough to call 911. The AHA doesn't endorse it, but if you're about to go unconscious, it won't hurt to do it. Tell your children this. Adults shouldn't ask kids for help. Adults should only ask other adults for help. If an adult asks for directions or helps to find a lost pet, run away fast. Don't be polite. Go get your parent/guardian. Don't eat snow for hydration unless you're really desperate. Your body uses a lot of energy converting one form of matter into another. Eating snow would provide very little hydration, and in return, you lose a lot of body heat. Height, sound, and eye contact are the three tools to scare off predators. Assume the pose that gives you the most height, and walk backward without breaking eye contact. Make sounds if you aren't in danger of attracting more predators. If a fallen power line is still active and you are close-by, never lift your feet but drag them along the ground. Separating your feet can create 2 contact points with the ground and can result in a shock. Never take your eyes off of someone who asks you for anything on the street, be it the time or a donation. Never take your eyes off of them. If you have to tell them the time, have a wristwatch. And take your wrist into your field of view, next to your face, so you can see your watch and the person who's asking, and keep your distance. If you've been stabbed by something, a knife, jumping over a fence and you land on it and a piece of it is in your body, whatever, do not remove it. I repeat for those in back, do not remove it. This foreign object is possibly saving you and preventing you from bleeding out. Wait for trained professionals. Even if you're attached to a whole damn fence and think, well, they can't exactly bring me and the whole chain fence to the hospital in this ambulance, right? Right. EMTs are trained on this, though. If you are severely malnourished or are starving, actually starving, not just "oh, I skipped lunch today and I'm hungry," do not stuff yourself full of food. Your body will go crazy and start producing a bunch of nutrients using stuff in your body that's already in low abundance, causing your body to go haywire. No joke. It's called refeeding syndrome. Instead, you should eat smaller portions and work your way up over the days. You can perform the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. 1. Make a fist with your dominant hand, and press it just above the belly button area. Put your other hand flat on top of the fist to push harder. 2. Shove your fist in and up, driving it into the upper part of your stomach forcefully. Do this over and over again, and it will eventually dislodge whatever you're choking on. It may not be ideal, but if you're choking, and you're alone, it's better than dying. If you see a shark, don't panic. Always keep an eye on him, never turn your back on him. Stay in a vertical position, they will have a harder time to bite you. Don't splash water, this will get the shark's attention, and if it's a territorial one you might be fucked. Swim backward towards shore without making any sudden moves. If it comes close to you, punch or kicks it in the gills, they hate that. If you bleed, it's no reason to panic, sharks are not attracted to human blood. Thank you for watching Reddit Space. Please subscribe if you love these Reddit stories.